Hello and welcome to the Seen and Strong podcast. This is the podcast about ageing with strength, confidence and visibility, because growing older should never mean becoming invisible. Today, I want to talk about something that has been on my mind for a while. When did we start treating ageing like a problem? Because ageing is something every single one of us is doing. If we are lucky enough to keep living, we keep getting older. And yet so much of the messaging around ageing makes it sound as though it's something to fix or hide, or fight and apologise for. Anti-aging, age-defying, looking younger, turn back the clock. As though getting older is some kind of failure. And I do not think that is very helpful. I'm not saying ageing is always easy. Bodies change, strength can change, energy can change, health can change, life circumstances change. There can be loss, illness, grief, frustration, or uncertainty. But that does not mean ageing itself is the enemy. What are we actually afraid of? Sometimes I think we're not only afraid of getting older, we're afraid of what we think older age will mean. Losing independence, being ignored, needing help, becoming less relevant, feeling invisible. And those fears are understandable. But I think part of the problem is that society often reinforces them. Older people can be spoken about as though they're automatically frail, incapable, or somehow no longer part of the main conversation, and that is simply not true. I work with older adults, and what I see is not one type of person. I see people with completely different personalities, backgrounds, abilities, confidence levels, life experiences, and goals. Some are very active, some are rebuilding after illness, some need more support, some are fiercely independent, some are nervous, some are funny, some are very stubborn, and some are incredibly resilient. In other words, they are people, not a category, not a problem to be managed. Aging is not the same as decline. This is something that I think we need to separate. Aging does not automatically mean giving up. It does not automatically mean becoming weak, and it does not automatically mean losing confidence or independence. Yes, changes happen, but there is often still so much we can influence. Strength can be worked on, balance can be practiced, confidence can rebuild, and connection can be maintained. People can continue learning, moving, socializing, laughing, contributing, and trying new things. We should be supporting people to keep doing as much as they can for as long as they can, not deciding for them that they are too old. The language we use matters. I think language is really powerful. Imagine constantly hearing, "You should not do that at your age," "Oh, be careful," "Oh, you're too old for that," "Sit down, let someone else do it." Sometimes those comments come from love and concern, but if somebody hears them often enough, they may start believing that their body cannot be trusted. They may begin shrinking their own world. They stop trying things. They stop going places. They become more dependent, not always because they physically had to, but because confidence has gradually chipped away. There's obviously a balance. Safety matters, support matters, but support should not mean taking someone's independence away unnecessarily. Sometimes helping someone means standing nearby while they do something themselves. Independence does not mean doing everything alone. This is another idea I really want to challenge. We often think independence means never needing anybody, but none of us live like that. We all rely on other people. We ask for advice. We accept help. We lean on family, friends, colleagues, and professionals. So why should needing support later in life suddenly be treated as failure? Independence can mean having choice, having a voice, being involved in decisions, doing what you can for yourself with support where you need it. That is very different from somebody taking over your life. What does aging well actually mean? For me, aging well is not about trying to look 25 forever. It's not about pretending nothing changes. It is about maintaining as much strength, confidence, connection, and choice as possible. It might mean being able to get out of a chair independently. It might mean walking to the shops. It might mean having the confidence to attend a social group. It might mean asking for help when you need it. And it might mean adapting how you do something instead of stopping completely and having people around you who actually listen to what you want. That is aging well to me. Why visibility matters. This is such a big part of why I've created Seen and Strong. Growing older should not mean disappearing from view. Older people deserve to be represented. They deserve to be spoken to, not spoken about. They deserve to be included in conversations about health, movement, community, quality of life. And they deserve to feel they still matter, because they do. Every stage of life matters. We need to stop talking down to people. Something I feel strongly about is the way we sometimes speak to older adults. There can be this strange shift between where people begin speaking more slowly, more loudly, or in an overly sweet tone, even when there is no reason to. It can actually feel patronising. Respect does not have to mean an age limit. You can be warm and supportive without treating somebody like a child. Ask them what they want, give them time to answer, listen, include them. That sounds obvious, but it does not always happen. What about younger people listening? If you are younger and listening to this still applies to you, because the way we think about older adults now shapes the world we will eventually age into. And the things we do now matter too: building strength, staying connected, looking after our mobility, maintaining friendships, having purpose. All of that can support us later. But just as importantly, notice the language you use. Notice the assumptions you make. Do you actually think older means less capable? Do you step in too quickly? Do you speak for somebody instead of asking them? These small things are only small, but they do matter. A question to think about. I want to leave you with a question. What does getting older mean to you? Does it make you think of a decline or experience loss, freedom, independence, or confidence? Maybe a mixture of all those things. There is no perfect way to age, but perhaps we need to stop treating aging like something that has gone wrong. It is part of being alive, and if we are fortunate enough to reach an older age, I hope we are still encouraged to move, speak, contribute, decide, connect, and take up space. Aging is not a problem to be solved. People may need different things as we get older, as they get older: more support, more patience, more understanding. But they do not need less respect. They do not need less choice. And they certainly do not need to become invisible. So maybe instead of asking, how can we stop aging, we should be asking, how can we help people age with more strength, more confidence, and more dignity? That is a conversation I want to keep having. And thank you for listening to episode 11 of the Seen and Strong podcast. And as always, and until next time, be seen, be heard, and be strong.